Hey my witches, I am back today with a tag video that I'm long overdue in doing. So most people have done this, but I'm doing the top 5 tarot decks started by Kelly Bear. If you don't watch her, go watch her. But it is 5 decks that you could have for the rest of your life, or if you were going somewhere for a really long time. So narrowed it down. Now I had to exclude some. I had to exclude ones I haven't worked with yet that I have that I'm planning to work with this year. So I had to exclude the Guardian Angel Tarot, which I'm saving for kind of Christmas time. The Steampunk Tarot is kind of going to be my summer one. The Raven's Prophecy for like fall and Halloween. And then the Fairy Oracle, which I'm going, or the Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue, which I'm going to start working with next month. So excluded those, just went with the other ones that I have, which is quite a number. And there's what the top 5 I came with. So at number 5, I have the Angel Tarot by Doreen Virtue. Now I know there's some people who don't like Doreen Virtue stuff, and that's fine, but this is my favorite tarot deck that she's done. I do like it for working with people who, you know, maybe are a little bit worried about the tarot. They haven't had a reading before and they're a little concerned about it. And then some people who are maybe a little more religious or have more of an affinity with angels. So I do find this is also a good deck around Christmas as well, just with the whole angel thing. So I love the silver gilding. That's the back there. This is a deck that I don't actually read reversed. And most decks I do, but this one I don't. It's got that photo, you know, sort of photo manipulation to a certain extent, but I don't mind that in this deck. And I like that it includes unicorns and fairies as well. And they have changed some of the names. For example, Renewal for Judgment. And they changed the border colors for the element. They've got dragons in here. There's the mermaids. So I quite like it because it's a nice mythological sort of mix of things, plus including, you know, archangel energy. I did take a look at, I haven't purchased the Power Angel cards and I didn't like them as much, I have to say. This one I think is much better overall. So that's my number 5 deck. At number 4, just gonna put that down there, is the Animal Wisdom Tarot. There's the cat there. That's the back. I've been working with this one these past 2 months, March and April, and I really love this deck. I know some people think it's a bit, you know, what's the word, fluffy, a little bit too positive, but I really like it. And I love that it includes animal images, so you can kind of combine like this animal oracle with the tarot. And I find that the readings are still really spot on and great, and I quite love them. So really like this one. Oh, and then there's spider, a spider, and donkey. Love the little donkey. Oh, donkey. Oh, there's pelican. Donkey was the next one. There we go. There's donkey. Okay, so that's my number 4. At number 3, starting aside because 3 and 2 I'm kind of like back and forth with, is the, what do they call this one again? I always forget its name. The Revelations Tarot. That's it. This, I think, is one of the most underrated decks there is. That's the back there. It's fabulous because it has both a right side up picture and an upside down picture. I think it's great for people who are learning reversals. And I just love the imagery and how they sort of combine this right side up and upside down imagery. It's very graphic and stained glass-like. And I know not everyone's going to resonate with that with the artwork, but I do really like this deck. I find it gives like very straightforward readings. It calls things to the point, and it's just great for learning reversals. That's the Magician there. Zoom right side up. So that is my number 3 deck. And number 2, and again, 2 and 3 I'm kind of like back and forth about, is the Green Witch Tarot. Now this was one I kind of bought on a whim, and I'm really glad I did. That's the back there. It's a beautiful, gentle, pagan, Wiccan type deck. Now I find this to have a very like Wiccan energy for me, as opposed to the Druidcraft or no, not the Druidcraft. I always get that one mixed up with the Wildwood Tarot. That's the one. The Wildwood kind of has a more druidy type feel to it and a more masculine feel, where this one feels more feminine. And I like that, you know, it has no borders. And again, it is a gentle deck, but it still tells you the truth, and it tells you what you need to know. And I love the variety of ages, how some of the knights are female and some are male, some of the pages are female, some of the pages are male. I really love this deck. So I'm going to be working with this deck, I think, a lot this summer. I find it's a very summery type deck. So I'm really glad that I bought it. And I find that it kind of just lends itself with my practice. It just goes really well. Now for my favorite deck. And, you know, these may all change over time. This is just like a snapshot of like decks right now. Okay, pull it out. Da-da-da, drum roll, what's gonna be? Oh, there's a cloth around it, so I'm just struggling with that. Okay, there we go. It's gotta be Shadowscapes. Shadowscapes. I love Shadowscapes. I love the fairy energy. There's so many things going on in each picture, so many details, and they're beautiful. They're just so beautiful. I love the death card that it's a phoenix. It's just amazing. So much thought, so much care has gone into this tarot deck. And again, it's a truthful, honest tarot deck. It tells you the truth in a way that's not overly in your face. But there's so much rich symbolism. You can really get in depth with people with all the stuff that's going on, all the symbols that are going on within the cards. So I love this deck. I work with it all the time with clients. Clients love it too. It's a beautiful, wonderful deck, and I love the energy around it. So those are my top 5 decks, at least right now, and that may change over time, especially as I work with more and more decks this year. When I'm working with a deck, when I get a new deck, what I generally do is I feel like I really get to know it. I've taken up doing the interview reading, which Katie Flower did a video about, which I think is amazing. Doing an interview, and then I pull a card every day. Like, I do a daily draw for 2 months, and I also incorporate it in my personal readings before I start reading for other people. Obviously, I'll like do little readings for myself with it and just really focus on that deck for 2 months to really get to know it. And I found with doing that, I've really gotten a feel for the personality and the spirit of each deck, and I find that it just helps me to really just focus. So the past 2 months I was working with the Animal Wisdom, like I said, and now I really love the deck, so I'm really glad I got it. But those are my top 5. Let me know what you think. Do you like these decks? Do you not like these decks? Let me know. I'll see you all next time. Bye.